this is Beth from Art by B. Dell. Guess what? Yep, another day with Junk Journal January. We are now on day 12, Torn Edges. This is the page I want to use in my journal, and both pages here have torn edges. This is a jelly print that I did 100 years ago. And then this is a page out of a child's book. What I want to incorporate on this page is one of these images that I printed off onto vellum. And I want to use the wildflower one. So we are going to, now there's different ways that you can tear this. I could just take it and I could tear it down through, or I could use my straight edge and tear it like that. And I think that's what I want to do with this one. I just want to use my straight edge, and that gives me a little bit of a deco edge on my piece of paper here, piece of vellum. So then I'll set this image aside for another day. But I have this that I want to put on here. I'm working toward the back of my book now because I was doing everything in front and it was just kind of getting lopsided. And so I thought I'll work toward the back of my book and make things a little easier. So then for the bottom of this, I have my two decal edge, I have a straight edge, and then over here I'm going to give it a rough torn edge. There we go. It's not straight across. Oh my goodness, and that looks pretty on top of that deli print. Now underneath the deli print, I want to add a little bit of collage down the bottom. Now remember from yesterday, from our eclectic page, I had torn off some pages from, or some numbers from the Bojo Prints bullet journal pages, the numbers, and I said I could use those again, and I really want to use them today here in this. So for my vellum though, I also want to ink up around the edges of that. I like torn edges. Gives it a little bit of a rougher feel to it, takes away some of the harshness, makes things softer. But usually with my torn edges, I also like to add some ink. So we have that. Now I also have this freebie printable from somewhere. And I'm going to tear this section out. And I want to add that to my page. And I'm going to tear all the way around it. It makes our print a little bit more kind of random when you have a torn edge like that. And I want to add that to the bottom of this also. So I will put a little bit of ink on that. This is going to be really simple, guys. We're just tearing paper and adding ink and gluing it down. So there, we'll go with that. And with that, and still thinking of putting this up here. We want, as I'm working, I'm trying to carry through to the other page. So I used a really light one there, but my page is light here. So I think I'll just go with this one. It ripped a little differently than what I had planned on, but that's all right too. And get rid of this edge here. And we could kind of carry that over from the other page here, like this, and then put that on there. Let's ink up the edge. This is a keeper piece. So we can set our vellum aside for now as we're working on this. I want to try to carry pieces over. So I want it to be a smooth transition. Right now we have a break in it. So how about, I do have some of this paper, but it's cardstock. And I'm not so sure how well that's going to lay down. But let's just tear a piece of it and see how it'll go like over here for some of the color that's in that. Well, that probably matches better with the dots and with the purple. I'm not sure where the purple is coming from, guys. I don't usually ever use purple. But there we have it, and it kind of goes along better with the opposite page than what the green on it did. I still need to make a smoother transition. Now I could move this over and make my transition like that. Put the numbers here. Maybe put these numbers up here. Then it kind of runs over. Let's see how that looks with our vellum on top. I guess it really doesn't matter with the vellum whether it's on one side or the other. So let's go ahead and glue these down and then see where we go from there. So for this cardstock, I'll definitely have to use some tacky glue. Usually when I have cardstock and I'm adding it to a page like this, it isn't as an element such as what I'm doing here. It might be like a journal card or a tag or something, but usually not a layer, because that makes a pretty heavy layer. I really like this print here. Let's just take that over to the other side. Now when I carry from one page to the next, I try to get my paper down inside the seam like this a little bit, and then it just all folds open better. Let's put that down there. What else do we have here? We had our numbers. I might go back into my bullet journal and find the pages that I didn't finish and see what else I have, because this is a really nice idea to add right here, I think. Yes, I have a bullet journal I didn't finish. I don't know. I think I got till August, and then I don't know what happened, guys. So there we have a lot of torn edges going on, which is what we want. And everything just kind of blends in together a little bit. Now I'm wondering if we want to dive into paint today or if we want to stay away from paint today. Now this side, I think I'd be happy with just leaving it as is. This side, I have to figure out what I want to use for, I was thinking of doing like a quote on this side. We could add a piece of coffee stained copy paper with torn edges, of course. Gets rid of a little bit of the orange. Put it up here. It takes everything up there. We could put it down here. And then I have a butterfly that I want to add to the top of the vellum. I will have to go find what I'm going to use here before I can move forward. So I have wildflowers going on that page. There's my piece of cheesecloth. And let me see what I find that I want to use here. I'm thinking this is too dark anyhow, but we could add another piece of vellum over here. All right, so to add in like some more purple would not be a bad thing. So let me tear around this wildflower here that I have. This from a printable. And let's see what we think of this. I'm not thinking I want the vellum there. But what if we add the flower, the wildflower? We could put the wildflower on the cheesecloth and then find a little quote or something. Maybe if I have like a nature quote. Look deep into nature. What do you think? Although I don't know that I want it over there, but maybe I want it down here. I'm just wondering if this is like too much here with the flower there, and if we should just do, oh boy, decisions. How about just living is not enough? One must have sunshine, freedom, and a little flower by Hans Christian Andersen. And I'm not so sure that I'm going to add this other flower. So I'll save that for another project. Now, everything leads to like another question. I do want to go like that. I do want to go like this. Is this enough over here on this page? Do I want to add gesso and combine everything together, or do I want to keep it bright? I really like the bright color behind this. So I'm going to leave it, guys. I'm just going to leave it just like that. I want to attach my vellum with some ribbon, and I have this ribbon that I want to use. I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers hole punch here, and I'm going to use the biggest one. I'm going to get my book turned around here. Take the butterfly off so I don't lose it. And see if I can get this on straight. So I want to punch 2 holes, the bigger holes. And you know what? A little bit of glue across the top of that will help me to do this. So just a little bit of glue stick right across the top. Keep my paper in place. And then I'll punch a hole here. Let's go here. And then I'll punch another hole, hopefully approximately about the same distance from the edge and about the same distance in. There we go. I have my book propped up with my snap box. Okay, so we have that, and then we're going to take our ribbon and we're going to put it down through each hole. And let's put this all the way down through, and then I can decide how much I need. Okay, so we have some paper glued onto that. Now, I don't want any folds in this. All right, so we've got both ends down through. Let's see, that's probably a little too much ribbon, and we can cut this here. And then we'll go to the back side. You see that ribbon wants to fold that way. We'll let it fold that way if that's what it wants to do. There. Then we'll go to the back side, and we're going to cross these ends over. We'll put one end up through the opposite side it came down through in. I'm going to have to get a little pokey tool. Poke my ribbon down through there. Let's go. This is the hardest part of this whole thing, is getting your ribbon back down through. There we go. And so we'll pull that up through, and then on the other side, we're going to take this end of the ribbon and we're going to put that down through the opposite side it came up through. Yes, we're going to take it up through the opposite side it came down through. Okay, so we have both of our ends up. We want to make sure that they're going to lay flat. Make sure that we don't have a bump of ribbon back here. Now it's going to cross, so it's going to have a little bit of a bump. Okay, and then we'll dovetail the edges of our ribbon by folding it in half and starting at the fold and cutting out for both of them. And there we have it. And I think I'm going to go a little shorter so that it doesn't interfere with the other page when the book is closed. Maybe even a little shorter, yeah. That's better. And that attaches our vellum to the top of our page. And I'm really liking this whole thing here. Now, I have a butterfly, and let's see, over here. Maybe our butterfly needs to go over here with our quote and with our cheesecloth. And then maybe that will make this person a happy camper, just like that. I think that's it, guys. That is it. So let's get this glued down. And our quote. Now this page that I'm doing doesn't give us any room for journaling, but that's all right. And then we'll just get some glue all over the back of our butterfly. It has tiny little legs and little feelers are sticking out, and if I can get them glued down, I want his leg to go just between the words so that part of him is on the quote, and then glue him down. But I don't want him to hinder being able to read the quote. There we go. I am liking that now. So putting another flower on the other side, on this side, was not the answer. The numbers, I'm loving that. Okay, what do you think? Easy peasy, right? We had the page behind it already started with our jelly print. That's what's nice about our junk journals, is that we're using all sorts of paper, printed paper, plain paper, whatever paper we have that speaks to us, and putting it in our journal. And if it has something already on it, then that gives us a head start on our page. And then when we come to a page like this, if we only have oh, say 20 minutes that we can use for the time that we have allotted for journaling, then we can do a page like this, and you've got quite the page in your book with very little effort. Anyhow, I'm rambling again. Thank you for watching, and we shall see you again tomorrow for another page in our junk journal. Have a great day. Bye now.